If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Competition is the keen cutting edge of business, always shaving away at costs. A business absolutely devoted to service will have only one worry about profit. They will be embarrassingly large. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Chop your own wood and it will warm you twice. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Two classes of people lose money: those who are too weak to guard what they have, and those who win money by trick. They both lose in the end. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. The greatest thing we can produce is character. Everything else can be taken from us, but not our character. The greatest thing in life is experience. Even mistakes have value. My best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. We try to pay a man what he is worth, and we are not inclined to keep a man who is not worth more than the minimum wage. Success teaches how to succeed. Begin with the determination to succeed, and the work is half done already. Genius is seldom recognized for what it is: a great capacity for hard work. There is no man living that cannot do more than he thinks he can. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. If you need a machine and don't buy it, then you will ultimately find that you have paid for it and don't have it. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. The basically simple things are best, whether it's automobiles, diets, or philosophy. I do not believe a man can ever leave his business. He ought to think of it by day and dream of it by night. If you think you can do something or think you can't do something, you're right. What's right about America is that although we have a mess of problems, we have great capacity, intellect, and resources to do something about them. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. There are no big problems. There are just a lot of little problems. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all but goes on making his own business better all the time. If the people really set their minds on anything, it is impossible to prevent their getting what they want. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. I believe God is managing affairs, and that He doesn't need any advice from me. With God in charge, I believe everything will work out for the best in the end. So what is there to worry about? Money doesn't change men, it merely unmasks them. If a man is naturally selfish or arrogant or greedy, the money brings that out, that's all. Vision without execution is just hallucination. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what one's destiny is to do and then do it. The short successes that can be gained in a brief time and without difficulty are not worth much. Any man can learn anything he wants, but no man can teach except to those who want to learn. Time and money spent in helping men to do more for themselves is far better than mere giving. The best way is always the simplest. The attics of the world are cluttered up with complicated failures. The problem with wise people: they always know what is wrong. So I never employ an expert in full bloom. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said, faster horses. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. Money is like an arm or leg, use it or lose it. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. Even mistakes have value. America is not a land of money but of wealth, not a land of rich people, but of successful workers. New York is a different country. Maybe it ought to have a separate government. Everybody thinks differently, they just don't know what the hell the rest of the United States is. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. I am always certain of result. They always come if you work hard enough. But it was a very great thing to have my wife even more confident than I was. She has always been that way. Enthusiasm is the yeast that makes your hopes shine to the stars. The world was built to develop character, and we must learn that the setbacks and griefs that we endure help us in our marching onward. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. A bore is a person who opens his mouth and puts his feet in it. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Any customer can have a car painted any color that he wants so long as it is black. Any man who thinks he can be happy and prosperous by letting the government take care of him better take a closer look at the American Indian. Enthusiasm is the sparkle in your eyes, the swing in your gait, the grip of your hand, the irresistible surge of will and energy to execute your ideas. Exercise is bunk. If you are healthy, you don't need it. If you are sick, you should not take it. Don't find fault, find a remedy. There are 3 things that grow more precious with age: old wood to burn, old books to read, and old friends to enjoy. Most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. You don't have to hold a position in order to be a leader. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality of goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. The only thing you can give a man without hurting him is an opportunity.